being?
Yeah.
God damn, y'all. That stinks. Damn, Chris.
Are we going?
Yeah.
I was going to introduce us here in a second, but I might as well do it now.
Go
Right?
ahead and take it.
What flavor is that?
This is...
I think that's mango colada.
Yeah, Tim bought it for me. It's my secret vape.
Keep it only in the shop or in the basement in the car.
Katie's seen it at the shop, and I kind of put it down. She's like, "What, are you trying to hide that from me?"
That's fucking funny.
Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to More Than Tattoos podcast. My name's Chris. This is my co-host Tim, and we have a special guest here today. That I hold very close to my heart. A lot of things I've obtained in life, I give credit to this guy right here. And you guys probably know who he is. If you don't, you need to fucking get hip. But I
like what you did there.
Yeah. But Justin Shelpman, aka Hip. Yeah, man. He's an awesome dude, and I can't wait to pick his brain. Here recently, he went on a big Mexico trip with some badass tattooers, and really just been living the dream. So I really want to just see how life's been for him, and hopefully bring you guys some value in the process. But yeah, man. So how was your trip?
Dude, it was fucking great. A bunch of us. Lefty, badass black and gray artist, been tattooing for like fucking 400 years. Joshua Carlton, his sister Jamie, her husband Pete Carino, fucking Josh's family, Lefty's family, Riley Smith and Aaron Smith, which are the other people that are affiliated with Evergreen that throw it. But it's so Evergreen, I'm biased, is the best tattoo convention there is to do. But like, it's just such a big family once you get into it that like they invite you to do shit. And they invited me last year to go to Mexico, but my passport was fucked up, so I didn't get to go. Which is cool because like it worked out like it was supposed to, with all the personal stuff that happened with our friend Zach. But this year it was great. Like I've never been to Mexico before, and we went to Puerto Vallarta, if I'm saying it right, and it's actually pronounced Mexico. I just thought when people said that, they were just kind of like throwing like a racist dig, but like the fucking dude that was transporting us to the villa was like, it's actually pronounced Mexico. And I was like, cool. So like I tried to make a point to say it right, but he was trying to school me on some Spanish. I didn't do that good, but I got the basics down. Hola, sí, shit like that. Yeah. Baños, pee, baños. But yeah, dude, it was dope. Like fucking, it was Elton John's old villa, which was fucking awesome. And there was 40 of us, so there was plenty of room, hella bathrooms. We had like chefs cooking us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We painted a little bit. We rode ATVs. We went downtown and walked around, and you couldn't go 5 feet without someone asking you if you wanted some cocaine, Molly, meth, or weed. Fucking
when in Rome, right?
Right, yeah. You know what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
Mexico.
Bro, the dopest.
Thank you.
The dopest part was the abundance of bathrooms.
Yeah, dude. Well, it
came like the first thing you listed,
right? And I say that because like the majority of the people that were with us all got Montezuma's Revenge, and if the listeners don't know what that is, that's like a bacterial infection from like drinking water, which no one did drink the water, and it's not like a thing that I guess from what I understand is it's like not like it's not like a dirty water Mexico thing. It's like because we're on fucking where we're at, and then when we travel somewhere, like if they were to travel up here, they would have the same issue.
I see.
Yeah. So, if you go to another continent and you just start slamming water, like you're going to fucking piss out your ass and fucking puke. So the bathrooms definitely came in handy, but I'm a spicy food eater, dude. So like, I just got a steel trap for a gut, so I didn't really have an issue. But yeah, so we like rode ATVs, snorkeled, seen whales, dolphins. That was dope. Fucking rented a yacht. Fucking went out to these rocks in the ocean. Like, it was just baller. And so I'm training for an Ironman, even though it may not look like it, unless like Tim's done some magic with the camera and editing on the back end. But so the first night the first day, I wake up at 5 and I go jogging, checking out the city and shit, and it's cool. Second day, I go out and I go jogging, and it's like 5:30 in the morning, and I find out the night before that they're in celebration for Guadalupe. And so like I'm running and I get into the city, and then I notice like there's no cars coming down. So like I ain't got no lights on or nothing, and I'm running and I look up ahead of me and I see like 100 to 200 people walking in the street, and I'm like, ooh, this is creepy. So I'm just like, fuck it. I keep running towards them. As I'm getting closer, they got a banner, like 5 of them are holding it, and it's got the Virgin Mary on it, and it says some shit in Spanish. And they're not saying nothing, and they all got their heads down. So like, oh, this is eerie as fuck. As I'm approaching them and passing them, they're all quietly praying, and it was just real weird and eerie. But I remember like, this is fucking dope. Like, I'm in Mexico right now, like experiencing all this different culture
the full
and shit.
experience.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, it's a vacation, so it's like I'm trying to be disciplined to like do shit that I don't want to fucking do. Like, who the fuck wants to jog at fucking 5 in the morning? But it was one of those moments where I'm like by myself, and I got to experience that, and no one else got to experience it. And it was cool, and it's a memory that I'll hold with me forever. And, you know, I'll go back many more times. I think they were throwing around the idea for like next year in December doing like renting out a castle in Ireland, and like all of us going there and fucking partying. And, you know, no one brought any tattoo equipment, so it was like a legit vacation. And I don't know about you, Chris, but like, do you feel weird when you travel and fucking don't have your machines on you?
Man, I've probably traveled once, like twice on a legit vacation. Once was to Glacier National Park. That's when we got married. And then we went to Disney World. Whatever one's in Florida.
Yeah.
We went there. It was like a week each time, and I didn't take any tattoo stuff. And the Disney trip, we were like fucking running all over the place. I lost like 15 pounds that trip. So yeah, so like I didn't even have time to think about tattooing if I wanted to. But the Glacier trip, man, that was awesome to be out in like nature and like hiking and like going to see the mountains and stuff. Like, I didn't want to think about tattooing, and it was so easy not to. Yeah, so I can't really say I felt weird. It was refreshing for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which and it totally was. And I remember, second, maybe third podcast, you were actually talking about that, and you said as soon as you hit the fucking line from CBG Airport, like you just instantly started answering emails. Bro. And it was the same way with me. And I remember hearing you say that, and I'm like, I was thinking like, I wonder if this is going to happen with me, because like I don't. Other than when me and Megan went and eloped in Florida when we got married, every time I travel, I always have my machines with me, just because like we got the greatest job in the world. So it's like I do a convention. Anytime I do a convention, I'll fucking stay there a couple days or extra week later, or try to set up a guest spot or something. So it's like fucking vacation anyway. So I just really feel naked if I ain't got my machines with me. But it was the same thing as soon as we got back into town and like got through customs, and I'm like, I'm on American soil. So like, let's start fucking hammering these emails out while I'm sitting in the airport waiting for shit. And it's funny because I've taken this whole month off to not like schedule. Well, I've been scheduling shit for the new year, but like I'm not tattooing any clients or anything this month. I'm just kind of like chilling, you know, mostly because that trip to Mexico, got it, and the holidays. So yeah, it was a blast, dude. And did you like Disneyland World?
Well, I think I would have liked it more if my kids were older.
Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest was 6 at the time, so she was like just tall enough to ride some of like. With her, it was cool, but Katie was pregnant at the time, so like I was constantly thinking about where's Katie at, what's she doing? She's like chilling in the AC somewhere, so there was a lot of distractions. It rained a lot. Now I don't think it was as fun as like if both my kids would be like 10, 12, or older.
You could like ride rides with them and enjoy it. Yeah,
and then you ain't got to change. You go to the fucking bathroom every 5 minutes and food and. Usually it's just like pit stops everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
And then the one time we went before that, I went out to California with my family and all my aunts and uncles on my mom's side. And there was like 20 kids with us. So it was literally like we did 2 rides. It was a big old waste of money. It was cool because we were with the family, but I think it would be a lot doper if I get to experience it again when they're a little bit older, for sure.
Have you ever been to either of them, Tim?
No, I wish. I'd love to, especially now that they like, I guess is it Universal that has like the fucking Mario Land or whatever? I want to go to that shit, like real bad.
I don't know. My whole perspective's changed on this because, like, for one, fuck Disneyland.
Because all like the conspiracy shit, or like I don't know if it's conspiracy or not.
There's conspiracy.
Well, shit! Now Chris is open a can of worms. This is what the episode's about.
You like set up and everything.
Alley-oop.
Well, but before that, I mean, what where was you going with that?
Okay, so the same group of people, the Evergreen family and shit, this year at Golden State, Riley had talked. Okay, so I'm going to go back a little bit, way back in the 80s, right? So my biological dad was fucking not there ever, and he showed up one year and basically was like, you're gonna come live with me in Kissimmee, Florida. And Kissimmee's like right by fucking Disney World. So like the whole way down he's promised me, we're going to Disneyland or World or whatever the fuck it is. It's all bullshit. But so we get down there and he starts cracking open beers and like slamming fists of vodka and like just stays drunk on the porch, and it's a trailer, if you can't tell. And he points when they shoot off the fireworks and he's like, that's Disney World. So that was my first experience going to Disney World. And in that same fucking couple months I was living down there, he got real drunk and was like working on a car, and his friend started a car and it chopped his finger off. So I come out of playing in the fucking ditch because it was rainy, and I just like played in mud all the time while I was down there. And I fucking seen my dad run by with blood all over him. So I start crying. And his friends, they call me over to the car, and they're like, get his finger. And like they force me down and fucking push me under there, and I had to grab my dad's wiggling finger under the car. Bruh. So all this is attached to my fucking experience with Disney World. Fast forward to the present moment, fucking September 2023, fucking Riley's done talk me into fucking buying like the fucking tits of fucking rooms at the Disney Resort in Disneyland in Cali. So like I dropped like $3,500 for me and Meg to go there after the convention, and I'm thinking, I'm like, cool. So boom, we get up in there. I showed up late. We were supposed to. I showed up at like 2:30 in the morning. We were supposed to be ready by 7:30 to like do the whole fucking scheduling shit that I wasn't even aware of, because I bought the Genie Pass, right? I think I assumed that the Genie Pass was like the line jumper pass at Kings Island. And like for the listeners, Kings Island's like a theme park that's here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And when you buy the line jumper pass, it is exactly that. You jump the fucking line, so there's no waiting around. So like I'm at the fucking resort of all resorts, fucking Disney suck, and I get the Genie Pass, right? Like I get to rub a fucking lamp and I get to just do whatever the fuck I want in Disneyland, and that's not the case at all. So I wake up 10 minutes early. Everyone's already riding rides. I'm learning how to do this thing. When we first got there, I opened our windows to our room, and I looked out, and I was like, "Don't worry, Dad, I brought myself." And like Megan all teared up and shit, and I was like proud of myself. I was like, "I'll take my motherfucking self to Disneyland." So like, the morning comes, I'm running late, no one's waiting for us. Cool, because like I wouldn't either if I was excited to be at Disneyland, which I was for like 5 minutes. So I'm like trying to figure out this genie pass, and then it's like, okay, so I gotta fucking schedule this ride, and then by the time I get to that ride and ride it, then I can schedule another ride. So like I schedule a ride, get up there, ride it. It was I think it was like Small World, and I just wanted to ride it because I remember it as a kid. I wanted to see the creepy fucking animatronics in it and shit. So like we rode it, and then I scheduled, like someone said, to go to the fucking Haunted Mansion, walk my ass all the way across the fucking park to the Haunted Mansion. Right when we get in line, it fucking shuts down. So again, I didn't know. I take my name off the list, which I could have kept it on and got another fucking ride. I hope this is sounding confusing, because it is fucking confusing. And this is why fuck Disneyland. Anyway, I got to like be a baby about it and was full of anxiety and just took my ball and went up to the fucking bedroom and like slept for like 3, 4, 5 hours until like the whole group was like, "Where's Hip at?" And Megan was probably like, "Oh, he's being a bitch." But I come back down and kind of enjoyed it, but like I couldn't imagine doing that shit with kids. And that's just why I ask, like, I will never go back to fucking Disneyland again. I thought it was going to be some amazing thing, and to spend the and here's another fucking bullshit fucking gimmick they got, right? So let's say you schedule it, right, but the ride that you want to ride's got a 45-minute wait. Well, if you don't want to, if you with your genie pass that you've paid for, if you don't want to wait that, you can pay an additional $25 per person, and then you guys can jump the line. So it's like a double up they get you on.
What the
so
fuck?
It's like genie pass really ain't even shit, dude. Like I don't even understand it, but fucking people love that shit. I don't. I'd rather a fucking drove around the Hollywood hills and looked at like where serial killers fucking place bodies and shit. That would have been more my jam. Or like
Right.
gone down Skid Row and looked at people fucking naked knife fighting in the streets.
Yeah, I would have guessed that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just a bunch of hobo fights and shit. It's baffling to know that it's probably, like you said, the most fun place on the planet, or at least they're marketing it that way.
Right.
Why would everything be fucking scheduled? Why would you schedule all that stuff? And it's not like, okay, if, like you just said, I'll take my own damn self. I would love to go, just to see like all the old shit. But if you're like 35, 40 and just like steady going to Disney World alone, you're kind of weird. So they're clearly not making it for the fucking
story.
adults.
Yeah, that's some creepy shit.
Right, like they're clearly making it for the kids, or at least like the inner kid that you have to go a couple times or whatever. But who the fuck, what kid wants to schedule everything out? And then on top of that, what parent wants to deal with the kid while you're trying to schedule all that shit out?
And you know what? Like, I had a bad attitude after I fucking, like, I kept going to rides and couldn't figure them out, and would fucking jump to another ride, walk all the way across the park, and then that ride would be out of order. And it wasn't until the second day that, like, Riley, the dude who loves to fucking go, that's got the shit on lock, that knows all the secrets to navigating it, because I was being stubborn, and I was like, fuck it, fuck this. And then finally I gave in and like realized that like I was being like fucking sour ass and was ruining Megan's time for it. So like, try to be a team player. But yeah, he knew exactly what to do. He's like, nah, when a ride shuts down, you don't take that off your fucking genie hop or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, because when that line or when that ride comes back open, it's basically like you get a free line jump. But because I took my name off the list, now I got to repeat the process all over again. But yeah, I hope I didn't ruin it for you or anybody, but I guess I always tell people, like, I ask them if they've ever been to prison, and they're like, no. And I'm like, fucking live a little bit, dude. Like, get you a number, so like, fuck it. Go to Disneyland. You might like it. Some people go to prison, they like it. So, fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
Experience it.
Yeah, Katie was trying to talk me into going again for Logan's birthday sometime this month or beginning of January. But we didn't do all that shit. We just got the tickets and just stood in line. You know, and
feet sore as fuck.
When we went, it wasn't on a weekend, so it wasn't terrible. And like I said, it was rainy. It was off and on. I guess Florida just does that. It just fucking rains all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the park wasn't packed. But I do remember both times I've went, like, this isn't as fun as I thought, or like that it was made out to be. Or I went when I was like 4. Like, I barely remember
amazing.
like barely bits and pieces. And I just remember like glow sticks and
getting
like,
pushed
you know?
around in a fucking cart.
Yeah.
Right.
Walking. Don't wear fucking Vans. I had Vans on the whole time. My feet was sore as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It probably is cool as a kid. Like I watching like fucking parents, you know, guys walking around with 2 babies in his arm. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, just got that walk like just strutting.
He fucking once eating ice cream, dripping it on his shirt and shit. And I'm cool,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
Yeah,
I think I actually said that. I think I told Megan at one point, like, this place would be fucking cool if there wasn't so many little kids around.
Yeah, I'm a big coaster person too. So like Kings
Mhm.
Island is more up my alley. But I've always wanted to go to Cedar Point. I've never been. You ever been to Cedar Point?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I went as a kid. The first time I went, and I was too scared to ride roller coasters. But then I went back years later and rode the shit out of it because my stepdaughters, we used to take them up to Tiffin Finley area, which is probably like an hour away from Sandusky, and drop them off at their dad's house. And then one year, me and Megan and someone else, I think, like, we ended up going to Cedar Point and just rode some coasters and shit. I was biased though, because I was like, fuck this, Kings Island, even though they did have dope coasters, and I think probably more coasters. But yeah, I'm like the thrill seeker, you know. I like doing that shit. It's funny you say that, because I remember when me, you, Megan, and Katie all went to Kings Island, and that's when they had that tall, goes way up in the sky, and it's the swings.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah, well, we got up. Megan hated it. She'll never ride it again with me, and I will.
I liked it.
I did too, but I remember it started going around. I was like, "Is that bolt loose?" And she's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I think that's
Bolt.
I think that's the reason
dude.
she'll never ride that shit again.
That's some shit, man. Talk about trauma.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Because that shit's high, dude.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be doom scrolling and I'll see a couple videos like that where there's like an amusement park dude that's like locking people in, or like they'll do the bungee jumps, or like sitting in a chair and they'll push you off and you big swing and they just like fuck with them right before they go. Oh man.
My favorite one is seeing people do the slingshot where they're like, it's 2 people in this ball, and like the one person passes out,
Yeah.
And they just fucking
It's where there's,
flopping around.
like, damn, y'all gotta wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I fuck with coasters, man. I enjoy them. I don't really. Katie, they'll freak her out just because she kind of. I don't know if it's. Well, she always thinks the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Or like compares them to like Clark County Fairgrounds rides, or like,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, those
those
motherfuckers
rides
are
are
rough.
sketchy for sure. But
I wonder
yeah,
if
man.
anybody's ever done a tattoo on a roller coaster. I'm sure Jack at Steve-O's
That,
probably.
yeah, that's gotta be a Steve-O thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like one that they just didn't put in the fucking movie or something.
Mhm.
Dude, I reference that Jeep tat all the time. Where the dude's in
Smiley
the
face.
back and they're just like fucking bouncing. Yeah. What's
Dude, I remember back when I was scratching, I was fucking in a fucking serious fuck. So okay, check it. So if you shoot methamphetamines in a large amount, you kind of will go blind momentarily. Sometimes the longest I went was fucking 30 minutes. But the dude was like, go ahead and tattoo me. And I just remember, like, I don't know how far the needle was hanging out. I didn't even know how to tattoo at this time. What I could do is I could stretch skin and I could scar the fuck out of you. And I did that shit, dude. And I swear I carved this shit in this dude's back because I couldn't see perspective, and I was fucking, my heart's like, brrr, and I'm just like carving this dude's back, dude.
I think it's one of the biggest quotes I hear from clients. Who are like, man, he had this drawing, but I ended up with this. I don't know how it got this, and that's how right there.
That's exactly how, dude.
Oh, man. But you got any more big trips planned?
Yeah, so my first convention of the year is going to be Inked Hearts, which is in Humboldt County, and I've heard so much good stuff about it for years now. And it's a smaller show, and it's at a casino. And from my understanding, like you can pretty much tattoo like all around the clock the whole convention. I don't know. It may start like Thursday, actually, like Thursday evening, then go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday or something. You know, I'm just going off hearsay, but Carlton, he tattoos at it. My buddy Tyler Andrews, all basically evergreen families doing it, and I always think it's later in the year. So like I was trying to do it last year, but you know, February showed up, that's when it is, and I seen everybody there, and I was like, oh, I guess I missed it, because usually my first show is evergreen, which is in March. But yeah, I try to do a show a month. I may have to chill on that this year because I'm in the process of starting my own shop and getting that ball rolling. Got an accountant, like he's handling all the numbers and stuff for me because that's just a headache. You know, anything that I can outsource to someone, I'll totally do. So yeah, I know that's the vision for sure. Yeah. This year is to have brick and mortar and start building the team.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
it's a big step. Yeah.
Where you got any ideal locations?
Man, somewhere in Montgomery County. You know, like it. You know, I earlier this year I was thinking like because so last year I went to the Hustle Parlor, and they're like in Manhattan up in a fucking skyscraper, like 17th floor, fucking some shit. But I just remember thinking like that's cool, and like Dayton doesn't have nothing like that.
Yeah, look out and see all the fucking
all the
all the roughness downtown.
Yeah, motherfuckers doing heroin yoga on the bench and shit. Right. But no, if it was like close to the river and like, you know, you could see, I don't know, I was envisioning like, you know, 3 floor stories up, overlooking the river, and like a storm's rolling in, and like you're laying out a fucking sick tat on someone, and you see lightning strike in the distance, and like that's their view, and like dim the lights in the shop except for the one overhead, and like just create like this atmospheric experience would be fucking baller. But then like realistically, like I can't own a fucking I can't yet own a building in downtown anywhere, but what I can do is like maybe set that on the back burner, because I want to own something. You know, I don't want to pay rent to a place, so like looking for something that's every artist at the shop's just, it's a wide open space, level playing field, so like the morality stays the same, and you know, if there's any issues or someone's going through some things, because like I really want to create that ecosystem that we came from, you know, to just be able to be in each other's lives, you know. And I'm like a big brother, so like I like talking shit to you and your client from across the room. Yeah. And I appreciate that you know, bullshitting that we do when we're working. You know, I do that all the time with Tim. It was funny. Today I was tattooing my wife, and we show up, and like his client, it was a consult, and there was like, he was nervous, and I could tell he was uncomfortable. He didn't look like he had any ink. So I just knew he felt out of place, and like Tim started the conversation, and I'm like standing over behind him, like mocking what he's doing, and he's flicking me off, and the client turns around and looks, and as soon as he turns around and looks, I hand him my card, and I'm like, dude, don't even fuck with him, just call me. So like just shit like that, man, I love that. And it's just playful antics and stuff that goes on, as well as like still having like a fun, but you know, when shit needs to be business, it's business as well. But I love that kind of environment, which Truth and Triumph's like that way too. It's sectioned off a little bit more. I was at the second location. It was more open, which was fun antics. But yeah, I want to create that, and I want something special. And I'm going to have that come to fruition this year. Don't know when, but I'm going to let my accountant figure it out and tell me what to do, once he gets all the numbers together.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when shit's ready, man, the perfect building will pop up. Shit'll just happen, right?
It seems like things tend to happen. Like, not to say that everything that's meant to happen is meant to happen easily, but I've learned well too much in my career with you that things just happen when they're meant to happen,
Yeah. And
serendipitous.
Yeah, and usually you just trust your gut. Even if it does bring some tough times, I feel like.
Well, see, man, and those are character building moments, and that's one thing I learned from fucking from the past is like. Man, being a fucking addict, like I exert self-will in any place that I can. And what it usually does is it sets me back, further than well, I wasn't expected to be set back. I figured I could like manipulate or control the situation to my benefit, but because I put my will in it, it usually fucks me. I usually end up fucking myself or other people over. So like, we ask for things like patience, and it's like, well, okay. So when you ask for patience, like you just don't get gifted patience. Right. You get put in situations where you have to be fucking patient. So like there's tons of places that I like, tons of places where like the money's right for the buy, but because I don't have the information yet, it's like I have to like put the brakes on self-willing that shit and putting myself like creating an expectation that is later going to lead to a resentment because like, I put, what do they say? You put the buggy in front of the horse or some shit. I jumped the gun. So I'm just kind of like chill, kind of like riding the wave. And like you said, Chris, when the opportunity presents itself, like, I'll be ready basically. Yeah. So patience is a virtue, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I can't wait to watch that come to fruition for you, man. I know it's been on your, I think we talked probably a year ago, and it's been something that you've been building that vision with, or that desire has been growing in you, and I think that for one, you're fucking ready, and you'll attract a dope ass team, dude. I have no doubt there.
Yeah, man. I've got some solid dudes gonna come with, and just like, I don't know, man, since I made this move, like, just kind of broadening my horizons with the local tattoo community has been cool, and seeing that like, there's more of like a fellowship there than what I was aware of. I know there's always going to be fucking beef and you're going to have haters and shit, but it's like, I always thought that the industry worked that like everybody's bullshit is locally, right? You got those artists, seminars are stupid. Conventions are bullshit. Anything that these fucking Instagram artists are doing is all photoshopped. You can't really do that. There's no money in it. All that bullshit was like local shit. And it's like, come to find out, like when you keep pushing and growing and thriving, like you surpass that, and then you start finding local artists that fucking actually do that shit that are cool. Like you don't have to fly to like a convention in another city to find like-minded artists. Now it helps because then you get to like meet some of your heroes and learn from some of the people you look up to. But this last year has been so wild, but it's expanded my mind into like, man, there's a bunch of fucking solid ass people here. Plus, like another thing is like being able to like consistently bring in guest artists that like I know local tattooers want to meet and possibly take seminars from. I want to fucking meet. I want to host them. I enjoy like being very hospitable to people, and just like having like a solid ass place that people are like down and want to come back to, so just being like the head of all that and being able to create it and like just hold that ecosystem to where it's like it's refreshing, you know. It won't be like a normal guest spot, which whatever that looks like. And I know there's people that have like nice setup. Like I heard like Arlo and Ashley, like they got like a whole fucking
The Asylum.
Yeah, that motherfucker. I heard it's dope, dude. I heard like rumors of like limousines picking clients up and they take you out to eat and fucking
shit.
Yeah,
like
fire.
the whole nines, dude, which like that's fucking dreamy.
Yeah.
I dig it. I would, you know, I will enjoy when I get to the point to where I'm able to like flex like that.
Yeah. I want to circle back real quick to something you said. And I think, you know, the industry, as far as being negative or like those tattooers that are like putting down or not, you know, you don't deserve the tattoo. Like all that shit is so loud that you really have to push through and come out on the other side before you attract those people, because a lot of motherfuckers don't have courage to do that themselves, you know? And I think that my brand, and we've had a lot of conversations on this lately, we've been very unopinionated. We've been very like silent on our outlook on things. So I'm kind of excited to really embrace that side of the industry and push through, because I want to attract. I don't feel like I attract a lot of artists with that mindset yet. I mean, I think that mainly because no one really knows who I am. Honestly, I don't do a lot of conventions. I'm not very loud on social media except for my tattoos, you know, and the captions we put about the clients, you know. But I feel like over the past couple of years, you've really embraced the positive side of the industry. And dude, I have no doubt that you're already attracting badasses like mine, like you said. But I think there's gonna be a lot of good come from it.
Man, and you know, because you ain't not ever gone through no hardships. Because it's funny, because you know, like, man, you made a post a few months ago, and I remember like seeing it, and it's like, you know, talk shit about me all you want. When you talk shit about my homie, I'm like, fuck you, let's get it. And usually I don't engage in shit, but I like poked the bear a little bit on one dude, and I seen like he fucking said some shit to me, and it was back when I was in fucking I was in Phoenix actually with Matt Vaught, and it was the price post. And then I seen that you fucking was like, you don't know Hip, you don't know his heart. And I was just like, oh shit. But it's funny because like, you know, people will see like success and assume that like, you know, you were just given a fucking golden spoon in your mouth, or like, and this is why I had to go on like this journey to meet my fucking heroes, irregardless if they sucked ass as a human or if they were fucking sweethearts, is because I need to know that like you just didn't wake up and you shit fucking rainbows and your tattoos are all amazing and you've never misspelled letters and you've never had a shitty heel. And like, I've seen it time and time again. They're human. They're just like me. Like I'm on the same path. I am on the right fucking path. But you know, as I grow and continue to grow and like have the perspective of life that like it's happening for us, not to us, which I had that mentality for so long and it doesn't fucking serve me and it's not life-giving. So why, if this is my option and this is my option, why not take the latter of the two? And so I did. And like, it's just fucking beautiful over here. And now it's like, you know, it's funny. I journal, I was about to say every morning, but I just haven't been on the grind lately. But it's one of those like self-help things that I do. But I kind of pray for problems. Like, and like I say problems just for the viewers and listeners, but really like, they're not problems. Like they're opportunities to like learn and grow, even the horrible shit, you know, like
strength building exercises.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you think about it, like fucking when you go and you lift weights, you're sore, because your muscles are ripping and tearing. Like, so fucking in life, that's just, you know, you hear David Goggins talk about that shit all the time. Like it's callousing the mind. So it's like, and you know, it's like, yeah, this dude really ain't been through nothing hard. And it's like, dude, we lost our fucking brother in 2 days a year ago. And like that, is an opportunity. Sometimes it's hard to even think about like what that opportunity is, even if it was like, we got to be light in his life. We got to at least know him for this long. But like, and it's going to sound fucking weird, but it's like, I'm grateful for the opportunity to experience it, not for it to have happened, because it could have been, it didn't need to happen, but it did. And it's like, so when I say problems or opportunities, I'll quit saying problems, because problems has like a negative condensation to it. Condensation. Fuck. I gotta pee. It's an opportunity to like grow and like really strengthen those connection with a higher power. Personally, for me, to like get things like patience, right? Yeah. When shit's going fucking bad and you ask for patience, or courage. You don't get courage fucking when shit's cool and you're not scared. Yeah. So you got to have some fear. So I just appreciate like that opportunity and going through all that bullshit and coming out on the other side like a new person, a new being. And it's like, so it's like, you know, fucking this shit is great. And there are tons of fucking positive people in this industry. And like you said, that loud shit's just, it's just that negative shit is just louder. Right. Yeah. And it just reminds me of this saying, right? Kings move in silence, peasants riot, you know? So it's like, yeah, of course it's going to be louder because I think that the people that, have not, I don't want to say class, that just sounds judgy.
Well, I think most people are just raised around fear, you know, with news. My grandparents, I mean Katie's grandparents, live with the scanner on, you know, like that's just what I feel like most people are just attracted to. The
evening news,
you know,
the drama, the tea.
So maybe it just seems louder because that's how a lot of our like filters were programmed, so that shit just like stands out easier, maybe.
You know what? That's probably true, because like how many times you guys like say like this is your weekly goals and you fucking smash every one of them 7 days a week, every 30 goals that you got for each day all week long. And then like you go back and you realize like, man, I forgot to check one of them off. And you're like, oh, I'm a fucking failure. Like I suck ass. Yeah. Like it's funny how like you can do so much good, but one little bit of bad can almost like
make you question your whole morality.
Right. Man. You know? And it's like time, that with everything, dude. So it's like, and again, that right there is such a beautiful opportunity, because like being someone who tries to be positive and see the greater good in like the industry, life, people, it's not like I wake up like this. Like I constantly have to be vigilant in that. Yes. But there's something that comes from being that way, you know, because like it's something on a frequency where you just start bringing people that also vibe the same way. And it gets easier when you get some cool dudes in your life or some chicks. And you guys are already optimistic about outcomes and you just know things are happening for you. It kind of take some weight off your chest, and you're like, thank God I ain't got to be the fucking emotional trash can for everybody today. I can kind of chill, you know, like one of our old mentors used to say, like, you know, you come in and your fucking tank's on E and I got a full tank. I can fucking pour you a couple gallons, you know, it ain't always got to be on you. And I appreciate that. And, you know, I think something about that mindset attracts more people that are like that, to where it's just a bunch of, you know, you are like the 5 people you hang around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I always say, you know, if everyone shows up to the room to take something from it, there's nothing left to get. Mm-hmm. Versus if we all show up and bring something to the room, now there's plenty, you know. But I know I've mentioned it in the podcast before, but a book, Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's good.
That's the other Napoleon Hill book, ain't it? Yeah. The one that was like published like after he died or something?
Yeah, he wrote it like early 1800s, I think, and they didn't publish it for like 100 years. The family didn't because it just sounded fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Kinda,
too wild,
too wild, you know.
too fucking woo woo.
But the shit's so spot on, and that negativity, that one thing, fucking catch you. You know, now you're spiraling, and now you're just drifting. And the quote unquote devil, that's like his goal. He's not trying to get you to do bad shit. He's just trying to get you to do nothing.
Yeah,
not be able to think for yourself.
Right.
You know, not be a powerful mind that can control and create that positivity. And you just fucking coast through and don't do anything. Don't influence no one. Don't make no impact.
Just be mundane.
Yeah, just live and die, you know?
Yeah.
That book's gold. And it's awesome to listen to an audiobook.
Man.
Definitely one of my favorites.
You know, when I was teaching classes, one of my students, man, Evo, shout out to Evo. He's a fucking sweetheart. He's a dude from Bulgaria. Fucking sweetheart, man.
What's his Insta? I have to check him out.
Evo Tattoos, I believe.
Evo Tattoos?
Yeah, IVO Tattoos. He was I think in Georgia, but now he's in Huntsville. But he sent me this book as a gift, an audio book, and it's called like
This him right here? No.
Let me see. Wait.
Yeah, type him in there. I'll give him a follow.
Bam.
Boom.
But he sent me this audio book, and it's called The Laws of Human Nature. And I was like, okay, sounds dope. This motherfucker's like 27 hours long, dude.
Is it?
I imagine this book to be like this, bro. So I've just been like scaling this mountain, and it runs from everything from narcissism to just like the shit we're talking about now to the everything that is and was and will continue to be a human. It's in this book. And since he sent me this book, I've downloaded some shit that it's like, I just got to get into these other ones. Cause I'm like chomping at the bit now. I'm like trying to fucking just like, I'm looking, I got 4 books that I ain't even cracked open. Cause like, I'm trying to get through this one.
26 hours left.
And it's like, I'm trying to stay in integrity with it and like listen to it. But there's some parts that are just like mind numbing, dude. So like,
because it's good or bad?
It's
hard to follow maybe, or what?
Yes. So like, you familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, just through Facebook.
Yeah, so snippets. Like if you listen to any of his like discussions or his books, like I got the 12 Rules of Life, it's a super dope one. But he's like listening to like a dope MC, like some old Wu-Tang shit. Like you'll hear him say some shit and be like, "What did he just fucking say?" And you got to rewind the tape. I'm showing my age. And you have to listen to the hook again or the verse again. Jordan Peterson say he's dropping words that I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's not even a real word, dude.
Yeah.
And it's a real word. And like, I'll look up that word, but I'll have to look up like 4 other words to understand the fucking definition of that word. So it's like that, but then it'll just get to some points where it'll be talking about some fucking queen in fucking Spain in the 16th century, and she was fucking a narcissist because she did this and let these people here, and it's just like kind of gets real daunting. But then it'll talk about like fucking Ted Bundy or serial killers, and then it spikes my interest again.
Have to speed up those parts that are
I always forget about that.
Yeah, man. A lot of that shit, I feel like I never really realized how much you actually digest. Like when I first started reading or was listening to books, like I don't remember anything. I couldn't even tell you. But when that time comes where it like needs to be applied or instance comes up, it's like, oh yeah, I fucking read that. Or okay, that's coming back to me now. Mm-hmm. You feel like that's something that's happened to you a lot?
Oh yeah, dude. I'll listen to like. Fucking learning a lot of times, remembering, so it's like I've taken Carlton's Everything I Know course. I've taken it before. I've taken 3 courses before that almost are similar to that. It's just a new name, but it's like, I'm getting ready to take Steve Butcher's course, Evergreen, this year. That'll be the third time I've taken that.
I need to do that more, man.
3 or 4 yogis courses, and they're all the same. Like, granted, like they'll eventually add some stuff to it, but it's like I'll get one thing each time I've taken it, but it'll change and alter my entire path. Or I'll hear something and it just doesn't fucking hit right. And then I'll take the course again, or I'll read the book again and hear it again. And I'm like, ooh, that's amazing. That's why I appreciate, like, when I first got into recovery, one of my mentors in there told me, like, you know, like, understand the literature, right? And so, like, I would always make, like, these groups that I would attend, where we would, like, study the literature. So, like, there's a particular book that I've read multiple times, and, like, still at any moment I can open it up and, like, hear, like, a cool cliche saying, and I'll be like, damn, I forgot about that. That was, like, really profound in my life at one point in time, and that was like my slogan, and I lived by it. But, you know, I outgrew it for the time being, and then I hear it again. Now it means something completely different, and like I've got a revised view of what it means now.
Well, so many people get caught up on, like, reading a book and having to, like, digest the whole thing, and, like, I need to take specific notes and try to get as much from it as I can. But, like, doing it multiple, you're facing new problems. It's a new day, new instances in your life, new scenarios, and
New
each
set of eyes.
Yeah, and each time you that shit that, if you don't get so hung up on all of it and you just look for the shit that's applicable, you know, you find something new every time, like what you're saying.
I've got to fucking piss like a racehorse.
No worries, no worries, man.
I was wanting to pause it to a good spot.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You heard the man. We'll be back.
But yeah, man. I'm liking the new setup here.
Good stuff. Yeah, I fuck with this. I'm comfy, bro.
Yeah, me too. Those fucking dogs.
Fucking Ollie, dude.
Hopefully they don't wake up the baby.
Ugh.
Stupid dogs.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I'm almost a little too comfortable, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm so used to, like,
being up at that desk,
sitting up straight, just like maybe even having something to lean on to.
Yeah.
But no, I like this.
Hopefully I'm looking okay on the camera for you.
Right. There was a moment where Hip was just, like, real deep in a conversation. He's always got a hat on. You can never see Hip without a hat. And he was, like, leaning down. I was sitting there thinking for, like, 4 seconds. I was like, I just hope that camera's not, like
you can see his eyes.
Like, right. Like, I hope that you can actually see him.
Yeah. It's like casting a perfect shadow, and he just looks all fucking evil and shit.
Right.
But yeah, no, I dig it. We did break a sweat getting this ready for this evening.
Yeah.
We'll have to post I think probably by the time this comes out, we'll probably have posted a dope picture or something. But
we'll probably get a couple good photos tonight.
Yeah,
shit.
Man. How did shopping go earlier? Did you guys get what you needed?
Oh man. I think it's still being figured out right now.
Oh.
Honestly, I lagged a lot this year. I'm still getting used to having, like, a pretty big birthday that I have to take care of in November, followed by Christmas in December. So that's been hitting me different.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it's something I feel like I've gotten a lot better at, as being a gift giver. Whether it's like a physical gift, or I'm like going to take this opportunity to say something kind to this person because I think they need it or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never been good at that. Terrible.
Oh yeah. Me too.
And I feel like this year, in all those ways, I've had to step into being better at that.
Yeah.
So that's been a struggle.
Yeah.
It's just like coming up with ideas and how to do it, or even maybe just, like I said, even if it's not like something physical,
Yeah.
or like a prompt, like a birthday or holiday, picking up on when to do those things. And I feel like you've gotten pretty good at that.
And how was it last year? Was there like none of that last year?
None.
So set the bar low, bro.
You said
baby steps. Yearly, we're going to ease into being more and more.
Man,
know
I'm
what
not
saying?
about baby steps. I'm trying to get somewhere quick.
See, that's
you know?
that self-will shit I was talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Instant gratification.
I'm
Yes.
like, let's ease into. We're 10 years in. I'm like, I might get Katie a Christmas present this year. I'm
Hey, and speaking of gift giving, so fucking the last podcast y'all dropped, Tim, where you said that fucking you appreciate my bleeding heart. I just want to acknowledge that because like that right there was so I just come back from a piss, listeners. And I heard,
did you wash your hands?
maybe.
I know there's no towel. I
smell
know
my
there's no
fingers.
towel in there, bro. Somebody said the hands are wet.
There is not a towel in
I
there.
know.
My shit be wet every time I go out of that bathroom. It's like,
This dick is clean. But yeah, you were saying like what, being able to like tell someone something nice. Is that what you were talking about?
yeah. So like this last year, I feel like I've just had to step into being a better gift giver, whether it's like a prompt, like a birthday or a holiday, or even just like a random act of kindness. I feel like I've had to step into that a lot. And prompts are easy because holidays and birthdays, obviously, you just get like birthday gift. You know, getting that mindset to be thoughtful, think of something good. I've locked into that a lot better, I think, this year. But the random acts of kindness have been difficult. And I find myself in a weird space where I'll be like driving, just like, you know, I could be like working on photos or a video or something like that. And I just like find myself thinking, I'm like, oh, you should do something randomly nice for someone. Do you guys have that thought ever?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And it's just out of the blue. It's not like I'm thinking about a person. It's just like, damn, I don't feel like my karma's right now. I feel like I haven't just done something kind for somebody because I should just do that. I should just do something nice for someone. And I feel like when I get to that space, I almost contradict myself a little bit because I'm like, well, it wasn't really random now that you're like thinking that hard about it. So now I'm like trying to find someone to do it for. So I don't know. It's probably dumb though. You probably just like pick a fucking name out of a hat and do something nice for somebody, right?
Well, I can relate with that because like it almost seems forced right now
Exactly.
at this point. Well, and so I basically like would still do it anyway because you can guarantee everybody on the earth wants to hear something good about them. So like, you know, dope socks, dude. Adidas, fucking hell yeah. 3 stripes. Me too. You know, people love to hear good shit about them because we're so quick. The world is so quick to fucking say some criticisms and some bullshit and some judgments. So like, why not make a good judgment or a good assumption about someone? So even if it is forced, I believe that that's just a way of fucking getting the mental to practice because like I totally can relate to that, and it used to be like that, and it almost felt like superficial or like I was faking it or like oh, I'm just doing this to get something back. And if so, so be it, because nowadays I could be riding in a car and like get dropped somebody's fucking name, you know, and like there's been times where like I haven't obeyed and fucking like reached out to that person, but there's times where I've just been like, hey, you know, Pete and Jamie Carino, like right before this Mexico trip, I thought I had their numbers, so they just fucking came on me, and on my heart, they came on me. They came
That
on my
escalated quickly.
they came on my heart, and like that even sounds weirder. Is there some surgery going on with sex now? No, but so I texted them both in like a you know, a triangle fucking text message or whatever, and you know, it was like, hey guys, thinking about you, can't wait to see you in Mexico, love you guys, hope you're doing well. And then like I didn't hear shit for like a day, and I'm like, well, fuck me then. But then someone was like, wrong number, bro, and I was like, damn, okay. But at least that dude fucking me, and I didn't say shit back because I remember being embarrassed. But that's a good opportunity right there. Hindsight's 2020. I could have been like, okay, thanks, bro. Well, I want you to have a good day too. But I was too like embarrassed and you know. But I get feeling that, and I would push through that even if I felt fake, because I looked at it as like, all right, I may be doing this with a weird intention behind it, but I'm practicing. So like, even if it is fake, a motherfucker still wants to hear something good about themselves. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, and I guarantee you the person you're blessing or giving or doing something for or buying something for, like, they're not necessarily thinking that,
Not at all.
you know? And it is random as fuck to them.
Right.
Even if it's not to me and it's planned, to them it's totally random. You know, and I think that, I try to do that shit all the time. You know, you don't know how many times I bought the person behind me's groceries at the store. You know, if there's an old person behind me while I'm checking out, almost every time. You know,
That's why your fucking manifestation be so strong.
Dude,
Swear.
I growing up in the church, you know, and I know tithing is frowned up, looked at weird, you know, but I've always heard give 10%, you know. Then there's a lot of leaders that I've listened to over the years that, like, that's part of their budget. Like, they got a percentage to give, you know, and it may not even be financially, but a percentage of my output, you know.
Right.
And there's definitely times where I'll go through periods where I'm just like so focused on where I'm going that I forget, you know, especially over these past like 4 or 5 months. I haven't really done a whole lot in that area as far as giving, but
And that's cool, you know. It's just where you're at.
at least it's on my radar, you know, and I'm like, well, fuck, you know.
Yeah, there's people that walk around not even thinking about like you know, shit's tight for me right now, and which is funny because I have taken the whole month off, but like it's similar to what you're talking about is like putting that 10% back for tides or just giving to fucking people in general is cool. I've also heard like give when it hurts, you know, like when something fucking hurts to give and because you ain't really got it. Now, I'm not saying give you, you know, don't be a shitty giver, but like fucking just give. Like when, ooh, that kind of, ouch, you know, that kind of hurt a little bit.
You know, because similar to what you were saying earlier, when you like pray for patience, you're given an opportunity for patience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I think a lot of people can relate to this is like wanting acts of selflessness. Like, man, I wish someone else would like be selfless for me a little bit, you know? But when it hurts, that's when you feel like I need it the most, right? But wouldn't you think that's like the peak moment to be selfless is when you feel like if I give this away right now, I'm going to be fucked. But just to do it anyway.
Well, yes and no. I would say that like what's practical, you know what I'm saying? Because like let's say fucking, you know, your fucking kids got to eat, you know, like I don't know. This is the tricky thing.
Yeah. And it's like in those instances, it's like let's take money out of it then. How can I give someone happiness or joy without there being financial burden on my end?
Right.
Right. Because like if you look at what's practical, you know, it's got to be beneficial for all. You know, it can't just like fuck you over to help this person out, you know, because like how can you continue to keep giving and blessing if you're not continuously in positions to be able to do that?
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
And I just think that would lead to resentment or a hardened heart or like,
oh yeah,
you know,
fuck
it would make
these
me not want to do
motherfuckers.
it in the future. You know?
Because like you give so much, now you've given all your shit away. Now fucking when you're down and out and no one shows up to give for you,
it's a
you
big
know,
old trap
you're gonna
right
be
there.
like, yeah, fuck this shit. So it's like, I think a bit of wisdom would come in with that. But, you know, like, yeah, because there's been times, you know, I remember, I ain't even going to do that because it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn. So fuck that. But I will say this in Mexico, this fucking homie fucking, I was walking and like I couldn't get money out and I had like it was my ego or something. I didn't want to ask no one for help or tell anyone. So like I walked to downtown and I told Megan to drive and she's like, just ride with us. And I was like, babe, I got fucking money. I can't get the money out. And they're like, they don't give a fuck. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm walking. And I walked and I kept trying to get money out. Well, like down there, some card readers would accept my credit card, other ones would decline. There was like no fucking math or rhyme or reason to it. It just was like luck of the draw. And this day, like I was having trouble, so I was like trying to withdraw pesos. I couldn't withdraw pesos, so like I'm walking to meet everybody at the celebration at the church for their gathering that night for Guadalupe. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. But as I'm walking, I hear this dude like, yo, hey, let me ask you a favor. And I'm like, here we fucking go. And I was like, what's up? And he's like, you got like some cash or something? I'm hungry. And I was like, all I got's card. And he's like, would you buy me a coffee? Now check it. I used to be a fucking dope fiend, so I know the fucking hustle. And I'm not just going to give money out to just anyone. I'll admit it. I do judge a little bit because I know the fucking game. But anytime a motherfucker is homeless that asks for food, I will fill your fucking fridge up, dude. So dude's like, want a coffee? And I was like, hell yeah. So we walk to this store, we go inside, he gets the coffee, starts drinking. He's like, hey, can I get some cookies too? I'm like, fucking please. And we walk up to the register, I stick my card in, this bitch is like declined. And I was like, oh my God, he's already mashing these cookies and drinking it. I'm gonna have to clean this fucking goddamn place. But here's the funny thing, right? Because like how the higher power and the universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it, how God works, he ain't gonna fucking put you in a position and then like fucking abandon you. So I was like, you guys take Apple Pay? And they're like, yeah. And sure enough, this motherfucker went through and dinged. We went outside and dude was like, man, I appreciate it, dude. You know, I lived in San Diego a little bit. I'm down here in Mexico again. I'm just kind of down and out. And I was like, it's cool, dude. Don't worry about it. Like we slapped hands and he was like, what can I do? I'm like, fucking get on your feet and do the same shit to the next guy. And then we left it at that and left. But it's like shit like that is like, you know, a lot of people would maybe not give the dude time of day, but like, man, if you're homeless, you ask me for food, I'm going to give you a full fucking tummy.
Right, man. Yeah, for sure.
But I always get weird. That's when it starts relying on that weird fucking word discernment, which is like, that's a thing that just always has to be dialed in. And like, you have to grow into that, which I'm still doing. To know, because it's like, you know, now granted, if I give a dude fucking money, he goes out and kills himself on some fucking fitty, like that's not my responsibility. My intentions were pure, but ultimately, if I can have discernment to know, like, if this is bullshit or if I'm actually helping this motherfucker, like, get a hotel room, you know, I've put people up in hotel rooms before, you know, which then, you know, my mind will start thinking like, well, you just gave them a safe place to get fucking high and run trains on people and sell dope. And it's like, yeah, but like my intentions were good. You know, maybe they would have froze to death that night. But yeah, to circle back, like, I acknowledge you for saying that I have a bleeding heart, and like hearing those compliments were hard on last week's podcast because I don't feel that I'm ever doing enough. So anytime someone acknowledges me doing enough or a lot, or like I'm inspirational to be around, I appreciate it, because it's like I got to give myself a break and be like, and just receive it and be like, okay, I guess you are doing all right, but I always feel like I could be doing better. Yeah. And I want to mention too, because I asked Rick, and shout out to Rick. He took Chris's seminar 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And I briefly asked him how the seminar went, and he was like, man, it was good. And I didn't pry anymore after that, because I know who you are as a fucking mentor, as a coworker, as a teacher, as a student. And I knew the seminar was going to be bomb. And I had told you, so now I'm holding myself accountable, that I was going to come up and show some love, because I wanted to creep in and fucking check it out and just show support. And I didn't. And the reason is, my parents are in their 70s and they got old ass Samsungs. So me and Megan recently got the 15s. So we kicked them down our 14s. So like, that should be enough said. They don't even know how to text really. So like understanding like them how to get their Apple set up and fucking sitting there. It literally took 2 full fucking days before we went to Mexico, and like completely obliterated any time I had. But yeah, I knew it was going to go good. I didn't even need to ask Rick that, because I knew he was going to get fed. So yeah, I'll make the next one for sure. If I don't fucking pay to be a student to be in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No worries at all, man. And the seminar did go really well. And, it's funny that you didn't pry, because the night before I ate a little gummy And dude, like all the weight of the world barreled down on my shoulders, bro. I was like, man, they're about to go to Mexico with some heavy hitters. Their hip's gonna want to know. And Dylan don't like my design. And it was just like, I was up till like 5 a.m, man, trying to get that piece right.
And I heard that on the podcast, and I looked back at not every time that I stayed up at 5 a.m. and put in my extra, but every time, because like, if anybody hears this that was Guardians listeners, this is the fucking Chris that I fucking talk about. Like when he sets a fucking bar, I gotta fucking set a bar. And then he goes and fucking sets a bar. And it's just like this constant thing. And I always feel like I'm the underdog all the time because you're fucking like 10 years younger than me. So I'm like, fuck, dude, this young motherfucker keeps like out doing shit that I'm doing. Like, that ain't fucking cool. I can't fucking go back in time. So I just gotta keep trying to, we would just steal the limelight from each other. And then you threw Zach in the fucking mix, and it was just like, constant like camaraderie yet fucking competition, which is like, man, that's shit that I fucking miss. And it's funny because now I'm the young buck at this Truth and Triumph down in Belmont, because you got Brenner, who's a fucking hammer, who's been killing the game, fucking damn near considered one of the fucking creators of fucking new school back in fucking the day. And then fucking Kevin Rotramble, he's been tattooing 25 years. Tim Grounds, he's fucking old as fuck, and I'm just gonna bust his balls, but he's been tattooing longer than me, so I'm like the young dude there. So it's cool to just be around a bunch of old school cats that like been doing this shit back when I was fucking who the fuck wearing Jinkos, probably,
I didn't
kicking around hacky sacks and shit. Right. Google it.
Yeah, man. No, I fucking I've always loved that, dude. The friendly competition, and still to this day, like I use you as my measuring stick in a lot of things, and the fact that you fucking traveling the world and doing all this shit, I'm like, this motherfucker, like I want to be doing that shit.
I want my own fucking shop, bro.
Well, we rent, so
yeah, but still, you got the team, you got the ecosystem. I've been to Chris's shop, y'all. It's fucking dope. It's plush. It's like that comfortable shit. Yeah. You've got
nowhere to hide,
right, dude. And that's cool because it's like that. All secrets are exposed in light, and if you're fucking in there and fucking you're doing a shitty tattoo, and you've got all your artists looking over your shoulder, you're gonna get to hear about it at the end of the day. Maybe not when the client's there, because when the client's there, like, oh shit, sick as fuck. As soon as they leave, like, you zoom in, like, what's up with this wonk ass fucking line, bro?
You remember that? Let's say you remember that cat portrait.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got to look at that a couple times.
Yeah. How did it age?
It aged good. It aged like expected.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah, I was just tattooing my wife today, and it was like this fucking I don't know. Were you at the first Ink and the Clank? Or maybe it was the second.
When you guys were outside in the tents?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, that's where I did this fucking dog-ass fucking zombie fucking horse. Just like,
oh, that's a great idea. Let's do
it. Spur of the moment. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to get that trophy. Didn't get a trophy.
Yeah.
Had to look at that for the last fucking 9 years of my fucking life when the fucking, she's laying asleep. I'm up fucking Netflix and the fucking blanket reveals this fucking zombie horse.
And you're like, whoa, what's that?
Right. Now I'm stuck woke with anxiety the whole rest of the night, and now I'm finally getting to cover it up. But like, I don't even remember what I was fucking saying, leading with that. Oh yeah, because having that environment that you've created with the shop and shit, like it's cool that I got people in my life that are living a dream that I want to live, and simultaneously I'm living a dream that they want to live.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's the shit that you fucking bring into your life by being who you are, by being who we're being, you know?
Yeah, that's the shit I prayed for like 5 years prior to getting into Aisle 9. Did it every night. Katie could attest to it. Every fucking night, I'm like, I'm fucking missing something, man. I'm missing something. I'm craving something. I know there's more, but I really couldn't put my finger on it at the time. But dude, as soon as I got in that environment, shit doubled, all across the board, not just financially, but my skills, my desire, I really set the bar low with like bringing clients. Like I told Matt, I was like, I don't think anybody, I don't know. Don't expect,
Right.
but
No
fucking,
one from here is going to follow me.
Right. But so many people came and it, more than I imagined right off the rip,
And it's funny because like, I remember he asked me like when he was building aisle 9, is there anybody you worked with in the past that you think would be a good fit for here? And I just was like perplexed and was like, maybe one dude, and it was fucking you. And fucking, man, that was a dope find, dude. Because fucking like, yeah, that shit worked out fucking great.
Yeah. Well, and I remember talking to you at Ink and the Clink. That was the first time that seed was planted. That you were still modified, and Matt was gearing up, and you were like, man, Matt's getting ready to open up a shop, and I think we're all going over there, and that was the first time I heard about it.
That wasn't that one. That was the next one because we were both in the prison at this time.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was tattooing my buddy Steve, and I was doing the courthouse in Xenia, and it was primarily warm and red. And you were like, ooh, why not shoot some green on the side of it? And I was like, okay. And I did. And I was like, hell yeah, that worked. Because we had a conversation about fucking bug pins, and fucking I was telling you like, motherfuckers like be telling me not, because I do, primarily color, and motherfuckers be like, you don't want to use bug pins for color. And I'm like, fucking watch me. And I remember telling you that, and you said the same. He's like, man, I love when motherfuckers tell me not to do something. I like to do it anyway.
Like if Nico does it, I'm gonna fucking,
Right.
Because don't he uses all bug pin for his shit.
Yeah. Yep. That fucking shit on YouTube where he does the fucking the Day of the Dead chick. It was like a lady, like his client's wife or something. He did it on the inside of his arm. He was like I remember he used bug pins and periwinkle. And I remember hearing like, what the fuck is a periwinkle? Yeah. And then I remember getting it, and like just, it would sit with fucking dust on it because I could never figure out how to use it because like my color theory wasn't that advanced yet. So yeah, it's funny, it's just like the books, like you start talking about something, and then I fucking remember like, oh yeah, I remember, like I can see it vividly now. I can see like when I would be outside of Modified Skin before aisle 9 come into fruition, like asking you about it, and you're like, oh, I don't know, we would have conversations out there, like either I was taking a break from tattooing or whatever, but I don't know, man, just who you were, because working with you before all of this, when we first worked together, I just remember you being like a cool dude. You were a fucking great artist. It fucking, I remember sitting there and waiting for like you, and I can't remember that cat that you used to ride to work with when you worked at 202, when we worked there together briefly. There was some dude that loved fucking, what the fuck is, Tyler the Creator. Always bang that shit. He was some fucking young kid that he would ride to work with you with, and fucking you guys would let us in, and fucking can't remember the dude's name.
Yeah, I don't remember who you're talking about either.
There was Alex, and then there was like a chick like Gizmo or something.
Gizmo, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another dude that loved Tyler the Creator and fucking all that Earl Sweatshirt and shit. Fucking I'm not a fan of Tyler.
Was he tall? Was it Gizmo? No, it wouldn't have been Gizmo's boyfriend at the time because he didn't ride with me. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. I just remember I don't like fucking anybody from the Wolf Pack. So I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But.
Dude, 202, there's one. I almost died working there.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't think I really understood at the time, but when we first moved in, there was a big ass, like, 4x7 wood piece of plywood for the sign that was up there,
Out by the road?
Out by the road.
Okay.
Yeah. So one day we pulled up James's truck, fucking green Dodge, parked it, put a ladder in the back of it, and I climbed up to this sign. And
a
I'm
ladder
like,
in the back of the truck?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're all standing on the outside of the bed.
Yeah,
just
that's
like
not
this.
OSHA approved. No one's holding the ladder for you?
No, bro.
Bro, what the fuck?
And I was up there. I was like 22 maybe. I don't remember exactly, but I was up there and I got the drill and I'm taking the screws out, not really thinking about how I'm gonna get it down. I'm just like shimmy it down in front of me. And I got all the screws out, and I'm like holding it like this, and trying to like keep my weight up against the ladder, and the wind blew.
Is the ladder pushed against the sign that you're unscrewing?
No, it was
Okay.
like right below it. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. But I'm up there. I mean, it was pretty fucking tall, and I got all the screws out, and I'm like holding on to it and leaning up against it and trying to keep on my weight towards the front. And the wind blew, and the sign like fucking tilted back, and I like had to like slam it back. Dude, I was like 25, 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like if I would have fell, I would have been fucked.
Oh, yeah. You just survived it there. You were still young 20s.
I would have just been in a bed like a vegetable.
You'd have been all right. As long as you could move your foot and hit
Yeah.
the foot pedal.
I would have like came down on the edge of the bed of the truck and just like fucking like bent all the way in half. Oh man! But looking back, I'm like, dude, that was pretty
Stupid.
that was real dumb. Pretty close to fucking not living.
Dude.
You know.
Yeah, I fucking, man, there's some, I remember I used to fucking steal paintballs from Meyer, allegedly. And I would assemble them. And I didn't know at the time that they were automatic, right? Until I was arguing with this chick I was dating. And like, I would put my paintballs, I was an asshole. I'd put paintballs in the freezer and let them get real hard. So that way they
you
would
are an
hurt.
asshole.
Yeah. And like, I was arguing with him and we were going down Water of Elite. And like, I was just like, boom, yelling at her, boom, yelling at her, boom, yelling at her. And then we started to get it heated. So fucking, I just held the trigger and I remember hearing like, brrrr, and I heard all this glass shatter. And I was like, this thing's automatic. So like at that point, like I'm just riding around fucking town, like fucking lighting people up, lighting their cars up. We go by this fucking car wash on the west side of Dayton, and fucking that's where all like the dope boys had their fucking 30-inch rims out there getting clean, and fucking just light them motherfuckers up right after they were coming out the car wash. So like, you talk about stupid shit. Like I remember like coming from fucking Xenia. I hope the fucker that I'm about to say this about doesn't fucking listen to this podcast. But we're coming down and like I'm on my way to get fucking dope and I'm with these two chicks. So of course I got to show off and I got the painty with me. I fucking load it down. And as we're going by this intersection, there's like a pull off and it's like a reserve to where you can like walk down to the creek and stuff. And there is a Model T with a bride and groom in front of it getting their picture taken.
You're an asshole,
Bro.
You act like you know what I'm about to say. You don't
I have
know.
a pretty good feeling, man. I get a pretty good
I see
feeling.
that white dress get ruined.
Well, I don't know if it did or not, but I'm assuming it did because my aim's not that bad. But the photographer has got one of those tin type photography things, so he's like got a hood draped over him, and he's down in here like taking the shot. While he's taking the shot, I'm taking the shot, and we're just driving by, and I'm like, whoa, 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 lit everything up in that whole fucking parking lot, dude. And like there was no news report or nothing. Not that I read at this time. But yeah, you know, and it's funny because like
it's fucking hilarious.
When you talked about karma earlier, when I come back down
you
here,
got a lot of giving to do, man.
Oh, I have a lot of fucking giving to do. And even after I pay those debts off, like it just feels fucking good to give. But yeah, it's funny because like I got cameras all around my house, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for the time the motherfuckers come and burglarize me because like I'm gonna be so pissed. But at the same time, I'm gonna be like, God damn, it hurts. I deserve that.
What about you, Tim? You got any near-death experiences or fucking wild
Dude,
ones?
I don't know if I have. Well, I already shared this on like I think it was like the first or second episode, but working in the kitchen was wild.
With your dad?
Yeah, because I work with him. He was a sous chef for almost like my whole childhood growing up. He works in a factory now. So he's fucking old and just old factory guy.
Weren't you
mentality.
like fucking super plump?
I was a big kid. I was like, I think I weighed like 320 at one time,
Damn.
like right after high school. Yeah, but I went on like a super crash. I mean, that's almost a fucking life-ending story.
Yeah.
You know, like I went on
Heart attack.
right? A fucking mega, dude. I used to, in high school. First off, I started working at the country club when I was 13, and dude, you can't get away from the good food. I was just eating all the time, just slapping shit down. But on top of that, I'd go home and I would just eat like a whole 5-gallon thing of ice cream every week. Like the whole thing was gone, bro. Whole tub of fucking peanut butter and shit. But at one point, I felt like, of course, good motivators like fucking trying to get a girlfriend, you know what I mean? So I was young, just didn't feel like any girls were attracted to me, so I felt like that was the problem. And I ended up going on this big fucking crash diet. I was eating like a cup of brown sugar, brown rice. That's what I was doing before, was the brown sugar method.
Fucking cup.
It's like instead of shooting a spoonful of protein and drinking it,
Brown sugar and milk,
remember them
baby.
pixie sticks? He's just
Yes,
like
dude.
dunking pretzels in a cup of brown sugar.
Exactly. Shoot, but I was down to eating like 1 cup of brown rice a day. It was like a super dry spinach salad with onions in it, but yeah, I was a fucking big dude at one point. But I went on a mega crash diet. But I didn't have a car for the longest time because my cars were always breaking down on me. So eventually I said, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy one. I'm just gonna get a bike, because if a bike breaks down on me, I can fix that. So
Like a pedal bike.
Yeah, like a pedal, but just like going places and shit,
Like how you got to your apprenticeship in fucking Springfield Inc. when I started working there.
Yeah.
I think you just had started to get a car.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just, I biked everywhere, but I also worked in a factory. So, I mean, it was like pretty physically demanding, but I was also at the gym like 4 or 5 days a week, which fucking miss me with that shit now. I don't know where I had the energy to do as much physically as I used to.
Well, see, now I think we've created a whole nother podcast episode, because if we're talking about work, job work, fucking injuries, fucking, I've got them for fucking hours, dude.
Do you?
For hours. I've got something similar to what you're talking about being up there, except mine involved being on fucking a ton of Xanax and heroin. And I was fucking siding a church that just so happens to house a fucking a group that I go to pretty regularly. So like when I'm outside in the parking lot, I'm like, you see that fucking faucet or fascia? Fascia, is that what they call it? Fascia. Fuck, it's been so long. Sorry, roofers and siders and shit.
About to get grilled.
Fascia. I think it's called fascia. Yeah, it's like the overlap of the roof. There's like siding that goes underneath for airflow from the roof. I think that's called fascia. I could Google it, but fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm a tattooer now.
Spelling don't mean shit.
Fucks, but I don't even do letters no more.
I do the pictures.
I do the pictures.
That's funny.
But yeah, I was up there on Xannies, dude, and like heroin was like talking to myself, and they knew something was wrong, because I was like, that, the chair I had, first of all, you have a ladder at an angle, a good 45-degree angle. I had this bitch at like
straight up and down,
damn near 90,
like 89,
dude.
89-degree angle.
Yeah, and I'm up there just swaying with the wind, dude, trying to fucking hammer shit and fucking talking to myself. And this was like it. Them ladders, they call them like little giants, and then they fold open and then they click open even longer. So it was like full extended. I was up there and I wasn't 21 or 22. I was fucking hitting damn near 30. So yeah, if I fucking fell and hit,
probably wouldn't have felt shit.
I wouldn't have felt shit, but I probably wouldn't have woke up either.
Yeah.
I'd have fucking passed out mid-fall. But yeah, I got lots of those. I just thought we were talking about funny fucking stories, dude. It's fucking. Yeah, nothing after, well, other than like putting myself in stupid, and it's not stupid. I just like to mountain bike nowadays. So fucking, I'll fucking been known to fucking ride my mountain bike from where I'm at to up here. I remember coming, fucking up to where I guess where your old house was, where Megan used to clean for you, because there's like a convenience store, I guess, at the end, and the road actually goes into Urbana. And it's funny because I was like, damn, Chris's house was right here. Well, that's crazy because I
Into
fucking
Carlisle or what?
no, like I guess before here, like the big brown house. I guess it was surrounded by trees and shit. Yeah.
That's like 2 minutes from here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you'd been biking, like, you go distances, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's the longest distance you've gone on a bike?
80 miles.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you?
All day, because I wasn't intended to do it. I just happened to hit my best PR, which that ain't shit, man. What's Cat and fucking, him, Chris? He's in Columbus.
Jacob Dillon.
Oh, what's his
Old Soul Snake?
Yeah.
Dude, he just guest spotted the shop like a week and a half ago. 2
that
weeks ago.
motherfucker's the hammer, but he'll go out on like fucking 200-mile bike rides, like have his fucking wife come pick him up, like, and he's constantly trying to get me to ride with him, and I just get sidetracked and don't. But
Can't keep up.
Well, I could probably keep up for maybe the first 100 or so. Plus, I imagine him. He seems like a sweetheart. I don't know if I've met him in person yet or not, but
yeah, he is a sweetheart.
Yeah, but I imagine he's got fucking legs the size of Tyson, dude. Because like that dude's always like comment on my shit. I think he's really just patronizing me. He's like, good 50 miler, bro. While he's out on like mile 600 and shit. But. Yeah, and it happened on accident. I fucking went out to do a 40-mile ride, and then I think I left Kettering, and then like I went into Fairborn, come down into Beaver Creek, come back to fucking Dayton, and was like in Riverside by 35, and I remembered it was my buddy's clean date, and he was getting honored in Xenia. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back to Xenia. So I went back to Xenia. And then fucking on my way back to Dayton, my dude Joey Brenner and his girl Nikki were fucking like, they hit me up and they're like, hey, you want to go for a bike ride? And I was like, fuck it by this point. So I was like, we ended up going from Kettering to fucking Franklin, and that put another 40 miles on. So like, I was coming up on my house, and I was like, look, I ain't gonna ride back to your house with you. I'm going here because I'm about to order like the biggest bowl of pad thai and fucking crab ragoons and fucking slam this shit. And they're like, yeah, you deserve it. I just remember my shit was so fucking sore. My taint, it was like a big mound.
Like a big mound.
Yeah, dude. That shit was fucking beefy. But it was I wasn't planning on it. So, and like I got this thing, it's an ego thing. Like when I ride, like I try not to take breaks. But yeah, I think it took, I mean, after like 60 miles, like I was stopping every 5-10 miles just to get home. But yeah, it got intense. And like I'll forget that like you're supposed to fuel your body with energy and carbohydrates while you're doing that. And my dumb ass is like, fuck it, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm at like, I think I burnt like 5,000 calories that day.
Jeez,
something ridiculous.
God. That's wild.
But I like food too, fucking. And
that pad thai sounds real good.
It does, dude.
I fucking love me some Thai food.
Man, I went down and tattooed Ross and fucking hung out with him. And all we ate was fucking Thai food the whole time we were there. Cause like, he'd be like, my wife's cooking. And then we get done tattooing and he's like, she's got friends over, they ate the food. And I'm like, Thai? He's like, dude, you ain't gotta ask. We can eat Thai every time we hang out. And I'm like, dope,
yeah,
bro.
Man. I love me some Thai food. You got a favorite spot?
Around here? So what the fuck's the name of it? What we used to order at Aisle 9 all
Pen tie.
Pens time.
No, Noddy or Noddy, Nida, Natty.
We always fucked with the pen tie, man.
Pen tie's dope. So check it. There's a place in Beaver Creek. It's called House of Tie.
House of tie.
It's fucking baller. It smashes all of them, but
man.
I always forget to order it. So usually it's like there's a Messaman or Messaman. It's probably pronounced different, but it looks like it says Messaman. And it's like right in the Oakwood area off in the cut, over by Shore. It's pretty dope.
Off in the cut. That's the gangsterest thing I've ever heard you say.
About Oakwood, right?
I've never been to Oakwood. I don't know
Oh,
what
it
it's
ain't
like.
gangster at all.
No?
Dude,
It's pretty close to Brown Street and the hospital and stuff, or no?
yeah, it's those big giant fucking mansions right after you pass the hood on Brown Street.
I think I've been through it, yeah.
Yeah, Dorothy Lane Market's there.
Going from aisle 9 to, I think when we went to Zombie Dogs that day, we probably drove through
Yep.
it. So, yeah, I've been through there a couple times, actually.
It's so fucking hood and gangster that guys can't even walk around with their shirts off or they'll get ticketed. Because, like, I guess they got a thing about not wanting to see tits, period. Men, women, they don't want to see tits.
Yeah.
Like HOA, all that shit. Like, I'm surprised I can jog through there with face tattoos. But yeah, it's like off in the cut there. But yeah, dude, if it's fucking Thai, I fucking eat that shit.
Yeah.
We were in fucking I like spicy. You guys like spicy?
Oh,
I'm a level 1 guy.
Okay.
Level 5 me.
Yeah.
Usually give me like a 4 so I can get through the whole thing.
Well, so I'm extreme too. I'll eat extreme spicy shit as long as it's flavorful. If it's just hot to be fucking hot, like fuck that.
Yeah.
But so we fucking me and a bunch of the dudes at Invictus out in Greenfield here. They're a bunch of sweethearts. Shout out to you guys. I've been getting lots of shout outs, man. It's cool, man. I got a lot of friends. It's awesome.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we went to Wisconsin, the Villain Arts this year, and they're they're like, yeah, we like it spicy. I'm like, cool, and get what I get, and they get what I get, and like the first two, Dusty and fucking damn, who else was with us? Indiana's sitting beside me, and like it was expensive, so I think he's just eating it to fucking because it was expensive. So like he's like sweating profusely, he's like crying, and he's just like finishing his shit, and we're laughing. Dusty gave up, said fuck it, and just threw his shit away. And damn it, who the fuck else was with me? Wow, this motherfucker's gonna hate me when I can't remember who the fuck was with me. God damn, I'm so sorry, whoever the fuck you were. Man, that's gonna fucking. It was me, Dusty, Indiana, and who else? Who the fuck else was with me? God damn. Tyler. Fucking Tyler. Sorry, Tyler. But he got spicy shit too, and he didn't finish eating it. Damn, I just fucking blanked, dude. I was like, who the fuck was it?
Yeah, I can't do spicy, man.
I love it, dude.
If I'm sweating while I'm eating, it's a no-go for
Oh,
me.
that's the best feeling, dude. That's so
Is it,
good.
though?
It is,
it?
man.
Is it, though?
I fuck with it, man. Unless
I
like
can
what you
name
said,
at least a dozen that's better. No.
it's
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
It's probably man,
Maybe.
top 10 best feelings.
Is there's no Thai places open here, are there?
Not,
Shit
not
probably
in
shuts
No,
down.
that's like the
Springfield,
one
no.
thing we need here in Springfield.
I
It's
want
like what
to
we
try
don't
the
have.
House of Thai, though. We always
Yeah, Beaver
get
Creek's like
teaks.
fucking 20 minutes away. I'll go there.
Yeah.
I go there for or I go to Fairborn, which is like I think a little bit further out.
Not
Fairborn's
much.
got a lot of Asian shit, dude.
Do
They
they?
got a fucking bunch of shit, like little spots that like you wouldn't even think you would just drive by because they got a fucking cardboard sign in the window saying like fucking dim sum or some shit. And
Right.
you're like,
It looks like
"Ugh."
houses out there.
Yeah,
I wonder if
it's-
it has anything to do with the military base,
it
people
totally
overseas.
does. Yep,
Yeah.
totally does, man. Fairborn's good for fucking Asian cuisine, dude.
I've only ate one place there. It was at Tokyo.
I don't even know. Tokyo Grill, Tokyo.
I don't. I feel like it was like several different names, but
Tokyo Grill Sushi or something, or House of Tokyo.
like on the sign was one thing, on the menu was another.
Tokyo
Oh,
Thai.
those.
Like what? That
Yeah.
the math ain't mathin'. Tokyo Thai.
Right.
Oh man, I love going out and visiting my grandma because she's from Thailand and she makes some bomb ass food.
I still have yet to eat any of this food and this alleged grandma from Thailand.
Well,
Right.
she lives in Virginia,
Yeah.
so I've been there like a dozen times my whole life.
Yeah,
so.
because I remember you telling me she make like a big pot of fucking.
Wake up at 5, make food for all day by like 10, and then it's just there. It's like
Oh,
it's like a
man.
buffet all
Oh
day.
man.
Do you know what dim sum is, right?
Uh-uh.
I didn't either until this year. And it's fucking amazing. They're like little fucking Asian sweet barbecue pork biscuits and
Oh, say
well,
less.
so
What?
so crab ragoon is dim sum.
But just a different inside.
No, it's considered dim sum. It's just
Oh.
like shit like that with
Gotcha.
there could be chicken in some, chicken teriyaki. It could be apple and cinnamon and a little fucking crispy bun.
Oh, like an apple dip some like fritter type deal.
So it's actually, I don't know if it's the style of food it is, or if it's just the name of the restaurant that serves that particular kind of food. But a traditional dim sum, we ate it in Pasadena. They'll cart out like it's kind of like you've been to a Brazilian steakhouse
Oh yeah.
where they come
I fuck
around
with
with the
that
different
shit.
food.
Mm.
So they do that with the carts, and you just pick off what dim sum you want to eat. And I'm probably fucking whitewashing the fuck out of this because I only ate at the restaurant one time, but I know that it's made an impression on my heart. And anytime you see a dim sum sign, go into that
Go
bitch and
in
eat
there.
Right.
there. So yeah, fucking Dylan. What was it, Dylan? No, it was Tyler. Maybe Hunter. No, Dylan and Hunter were off kissing. Tyler met me.
Sounds
and,
about right.
Me and Wiley. they ate. At
You don't listen to this podcast, so don't worry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, isn't it funny? Because I was talking. I went and visited Russ Abbott and was talking to him about like Circle with the app and stuff he was creating. I was just asking like, does everybody do this? And he's like, no, not really. Like, and it's funny because it's kind of like with fucking the classes and shit we were teaching. Like, some people kind of did it at all 9, but some kind of didn't.
Yeah.
So I think, and Russ was telling me like, I'm not trying to force it down anybody's throats, you know, but it's here if they want to, utilize it. So it's funny that you said Dylan. He's like, you don't listen to it. And I'm like, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's like, man, to be honest, I hear you guys all day at work.
Right.
Last thing I really want
Yeah.
to do is go home and listen to you guys some more. And I was like, I respect
Yeah,
that.
I can't expect
you.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah.
I get it for
Least you
sure.
can do is buy a fucking shirt though. Motherfucker. No, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like just being around, you kind of almost guilty by association. You pick up on things,
Yeah, well, and I mean, it's the same reason I said that I don't fucking like re-listen. I didn't re-listen to the Guardians podcast because fucking like, if I said it and I didn't say no damning shit that was gonna fuck me over, but which I didn't have to worry about because there was editing. But I never really did that anyway because I'm just used to speaking in like fucking treatment centers and shit. Like, I'm pretty good at like being cognizant of what I'm saying, unless I'm trying to be like explicit and tell like a dead baby joke or something. But for the most part, I'm pretty good at it. But I will not re-listen to it. Even if it's like, the great fucking Joshua Carlton was like saying some shit. It's like, I was part of that conversation. So like, unless one of them two was like, hey, you need to re-listen to this and check it to see if it's good to air, then I wouldn't listen to it. I would just let it go off into the ether and be what it is. So I get what Dylan's saying. Like, yeah, fucking, I ain't trying to hear my fucking self again. You know? I don't even know if I'll listen to this episode when it airs.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, Dylan's a good dude, man. I love having him at the shop. He brings a real good energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think out of everyone, he like his slogan's like, you're doing great. Like, that's if he had $1 for every time he said that, he wouldn't have to fucking tattoo.
Right.
He just come to work and just tell people you're doing great and be good.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him at all. I think years ago, I was told that, like, there's this other tattooer in Dayton or from Xenia. And I'm like, it's not scratching? And they're like, no, kind of is because it's this fucking shop. But then when he got with you and I met him, and then like traveling now, it's like I've known that motherfucker my whole life, dude. Like, I just get in and we just start wrecking on each other and shit. And he's just fucking always like, why you always gonna make shit gay when you come around? And I'm like, that's what I do, bro.
I feel like his personality type, he fit into any crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Like an iguana.
Yeah, and it was so cool because where were we at? Villain Arts. This year in Cincinnati, I'm sitting there tattooing and he comes up and he's like, fuck. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're supposed to be doing color. And then he was tattooing his brother, I think. And I came over and I was like complimenting him, and fucking just, overlooking. And this shit warms my heart. So, like, this may be the first time Dylan... Well, you don't listen to this anyway, so you ain't gonna hear it. But his brother, like, after I, like, complimented his work and shit, and, it was genuine. It wasn't just because he's there. Like, I appreciate it and pointed out things that I appreciated. I guess when I walked away, he, like, looked at his brother and was like, dude, do you understand what just happened? And was like... I remember doing this exact same thing when Joshua Carlton stood over my shoulder and said something for the first time, and it blew my fucking mind. And so his brother came back and shared that with me, that like what the words of inspiration I gave to him, like it was a monumental moment for him in his career, and he'll probably remember that. And it's even weird me saying that because it's like, who the fuck am I, dude? I'm just fucking another drop in the bucket. But it meant something to him, and I appreciated hearing that because it was like, damn, it's like full circle, like, believe it or not, fucking people are like looking at us, even though it's hard to believe that somebody's looking up to you or looking up to me or looking up to you. I know you don't tattoo, but you do fucking dope shit, and you got potential. You're wanting to tattoo eventually, ain't you?
I think I mean,
you hear that episode? You hear that part?
Oh, I have something to tell you.
Oh, what?
So, to answer your question, I think it might be. I've got some time before I get to that because I need to do like physical or like paperwork and stuff like that, or like paperwork. I need to work on paper with my artistic skills and stuff like that. But if I was to be in tattoos for this long, just doing video work, I feel like I'd be missing half of it. Like, or talking, doing this podcast, I feel like there's parts of it that I won't be able to get until I get in the same position that you guys are. Despite having, I do feel along with you guys for the journey. I don't feel like lesser than, despite maybe certain people in the industry or like even mentors and
the shit. Fuck them. They can fucking suck a boner,
right?
Because the shit you do, thank God for motherfuckers like you, because it's a whole art in itself. And to not even just to do it, but you do it fucking good, and you fucking make shit look good, and I appreciate that. So you shouldn't see yourself as any less than. And I keep wanting to make eye contact with you because I know we're talking about tattoos and like our history and shit, but you're here too. So it
is what me and Chris have talked about that. Even at the shop now in our like normal lives, I think a lot of the conversations we were able to have earlier in my career with him were more applicable to what I was doing because we were trying to figure out what I was doing, right? And like, how can we actually get better and stuff. But obviously, having a shop and bringing on other artists, apprentices and stuff like that, the conversation's got to shift a little bit, and there's only so much in that I can say. Although there is quite a bit that I could say on it because there's so much of the process that I've helped craft, I think.
Yeah, and just you've digested so much talk and video and content. I mean,
when he goes to actually start implementing tattooing and like not kind of puts this shit on the back burner and then you dive full force into tattooing, you're gonna be just like Mike. I think that's why that's where Mike has elevated fucking levels above so many tattoo artists is because those fucking 2.5 years that he sat over my shoulder with a fucking camera, and those late nights when I would be tattooing and it would just be me and him in there, and he'd ask me like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you know, at the time he told me he wasn't going to be a tattoo artist. So I felt free to tell him why I was doing that. Little sneaky fucker.
Now he done took all your shit.
But it taught me something, because any apprentice I have from now on will fucking sit and watch me for at least 2 fucking years over my shoulder the whole time. I might just make you know what? I'll hire I'll take on an apprentice and then make them my fucking assistant and cameraman for 2 years before they ever even touch a fucking machine.
It's a good system. And we were just talking about this at the shop recently, and I feel like I had made the joke that maybe I've watched Chris tattoo more than Chris has watched Chris tattooing, because I'm there the whole time he's tattooing. Those fucking late nights and stuff like that. But also, it's a bunch of video footage. Now, I'm not like recording the whole fucking session.
Did you see me edit the notes?
Did you?
I did.
Oh, I see.
I did. I
did put the notes in there.
There's no way.
But yeah, I mean, you're sitting there watching the tattoo happen and obviously getting an opportunity to ask a bunch of good questions, which I feel like maybe even just the fact, or maybe the open cup of me saying like I don't know anything about this, opens up a lot of doors to me feeling like maybe it's not the stupidest question ever, because clearly I'm not fucking tattooing, you know? So I feel like
dude, I still don't know shit what I'm fucking doing. Like that's a great mindset to have, dude, because like right when I think I understand how tattooing works, someone else just pushes the bar up and I'm like, okay, I guess I didn't know what I was doing in the first place. Right. Yeah. Which is a beautiful fucking way to view not only tattooing but like life. Yeah. But what do you got to tell me? Let's get.
Oh, so there was like, bro, I couldn't have been working there for like any more than like 3 or 4 months. And I had gotten like in. I felt like I was comfortable with the shop and I was cool with everybody. But you and Chris were talking about something like downstairs in that like main room at all 9, and it was I think it was before you brought on Lil Mike, because you were trying to find somebody, and you had like, I think you had maybe talked to somebody about doing it, but then they had brought up wanting to do an apprenticeship, and you were just like, I can't wait to find a motherfucker that don't want to fucking tattoo. And I was just like, I guess I'm not tattooing. Like, you know? But I look back and I know that that's really funny, but I also just didn't have, I think I just didn't have an interest in actually tattooing, because like there wasn't any, which I mean, I appreciate you saying that there is artwork to what I do, like with video work and photos and stuff like that, because I do agree. But it's never been like, I'm not like working on an image or like replicating imagery, or even like, I don't even know how to describe it. I just never work with like pencils or colored pencils.
Well, you just have never applied those success principles to that specific thing.
Area, you're right.
Know? But I think that you have the ability to learn and be a student, and you have the tools in life to develop that skill. I don't necessarily think anyone's born with just pure talent. You can just shoot out a good drawing. It comes from practice.
Right.
Drawing when you're a kid, drawing over the years and trying again to keep getting better and developing. And to do that, you just have to have a certain skill set, mindset. And you got that for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah,
because it just takes time and consistency with applied action.
And it's absolutely art, because like, me and Chris being realism artists that we are, if it wasn't for people like you that would capture the moment or the candid image, we would have to fucking learn all that shit ourselves and not be able to do it. You know?
Looks like I'm doing Neotrad again.
I crop and paste to get my shit together, dude. Little mid-journey here. Right. But before fucking AI, like, I need a fucking photographer to get a great fucking picture of a rose that I'm unable to take because I don't understand what all those little fucking symbols are underneath the fucking photo button.
I don't know what this shit means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would, dude, and I don't know how much of a main focus it's going to end up being. And I would just hate to not do it justice, because I'm going to do it big. So I don't know. I would have to be leaving a lot behind, right? At the very least, not leaving it behind, but leaving it in hands that I can trust.
Yeah.
So I would have to be which this is already plans, right? Like, takes time, it takes action getting to somewhere, but
finding the right person.
Right, finding the right person. And like, dude, I've had tattooers tell me, they're like, why haven't you just built a team yet? Like, why don't you just have like a fucking squad of people that you could just hook up these fucking tattooers with? But I feel like photographers just aren't there yet. I feel like tattooers, I've watched tattooers are down. If you're like just a down person, you're just down. But I feel like there's so many tattooers that are down to bring someone else on to just like fucking grow. But getting someone to buy into the vision and like where photographers are right now, I feel like they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it.
Or I could almost see photography, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, you're either a super badass photographer or you're a dude that does it for a hobby that has a real job outside of photography.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. And it's like people are so afraid to get in that middle ground that they just won't do it at all. But I mean, it's like there's a jump in everything, right? Like you do a first tattoo, you don't know it's going to come out good.
Right.
Right, But what are you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, all the years that you've worked here, I think that your biggest passion and dream has been podcasting and streaming, and I feel like if you did dive into tattooing, like, I feel like you're more pumped about like this vehicle and like you streaming again.
Right. And I would have to really want it. I think I would just have to hit something where I'm like, dude, it's just now's the time. Like I'm prepared to do that, like leave all this in the hands of someone else. But I would just like hate to not do it justice, right? Because there's so many people that I see, I'm getting fucking blackout work now because I see what's possible. Because I didn't know what was possible before. I was getting fucking tattooed in the kitchen, But now that I'm in it and I just like see what's possible, even if I did think to myself like, damn, I could do something like that. Like, oh, it'd be so cool to watch like a client walk away, leave the shop, knowing that they have like their whole fucking half, they have their arm tatted up now, and they feel awesome. I would love to do that, but man, I would only like the respect I have for it. It would just take me so much time, I feel like, or I would maybe want to put so much time into it before I'm like, all right, like I can do that, like, and I can do it. I can get that experience, like the prolonged gratitude, or I couldn't just like step into it and just willy nilly do it, and I would almost like not want to do it at all. But plus, like, there's just so much benefit, I think, to having someone. Like, sure, there's a lot I could say or learn about like the tattoo side, and then I could feel comfortable being involved in that conversation, or confident maybe. But I feel like it's just good to have a perspective, someone that's in it but not all the way in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, sure, I might end up prefacing a lot of the things I say with like, I'm not a tattooer, but I mean, I still usually have some pretty good perspective, that a lot of tattooers I think otherwise wouldn't have.
Well, and most need.
Yeah.
Right.
In a space where like everybody has to be a fucking marketeer,
Mm-hmm.
like not many tattooers know how to do it or good at it, so there, I feel like there's a space where people need that point of view, or that other opinion, that isn't coming from a tattooer specifically.
Right. And that even makes me think about when I first came on with you and was like talking about websites and shit, because I don't feel like there was a lot of tattooers that had websites at the time, which is weird because it was like
not that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like 2018, right?
Yeah.
Like when I started working with you, I think.
I feel like we were really low key in the early parts of the movement, and probably influenced a lot of people to step it up. For sure.
I agree. And I can even say
it influenced me. Because when I seen I was like, God damn, where do I find a Tim at, man?
Right.
And I still
That's
haven't
been
found
a running joke forever.
I
need
know.
to give me a
Time.
Tim.
Fucking, and when you were talking about you watch Chris tattoo more than Chris was watch tattoo more, it had me, when you said that, I was thinking, I was like, God damn, Mike would probably videotape me, go home and edit it, and if he asked me a question and he didn't understand it, he could just watch, rewind, and because as much as you stand over Chris's shoulder, there's a lot of fucking B-reel that fucking you don't even fucking use, that you're just catching reels. But sitting there fucking at the end of the night, fucking not shit to do, and you're just watching through it, and you're like zooming in on a spot where you purposely zoomed in on, because you have the option to do that, which is another reason to have an apprentice. If you make them your fucking camera person, they can really see your techniques, and now they just have it on a fucking storage drive at their convenience. So it's basically like a fucking free seminar for fucking 2 years of fucking understanding what someone's doing, which I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, that motherfucker has watched me tattoo more than I've watched me tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've made the jokes before, but I'm like one of the longest ongoing apprenticeships at this point. Not like we didn't go into that transaction. Obviously, we had different goals and stuff, but yeah, I mean, how many setups have I watched? How many breakdowns? Yeah, how many trays have I watched, get made, or even getting to the point where there's been times that there's artists at our shop that are like, well, what the fuck did we do with the Sharps container? And I'm like, there's no one else here. And I'm like, I fucking know what to do with the Sharps container. Like, I gotcha.
Ask the camera guy.
Right. And I think that's also, it's like a little bit of my ego, so I don't try to rely or like get into this too much, but it's like kind of it feels dope, like not being a tattooer, but
you could probably be a shop manager. You could probably run your own tattoo shop.
Oh, I know I could do that easily, but that's like what you were saying.
Could you do it easily, Chris?
I think,
is it easy?
Maybe not easy is the right word, but I think I could structure a lot of systems to make my job very simple, right?
Yeah.
So I could just spend a lot of time with my people, but dude, and I even said that to you, like being a shop owner and like still being a tattooer seems like a fucking nightmare. It seems really, really difficult to like manage all of those different things, but like I said, like doing it justice, like actually performing, and then on top of performing, like exceeding any kind of expectations that you might have, or like the expectations of others, and just like constantly growing and pushing. I feel like it would just be a lot.
Well, and also too, I think that like these new tattooers that like get a year of fucking 2 years under their belt and then open their own shop, like it's just going to be easy peasy money fucking flooding in. I think why it's not, it's respectable and sometimes difficult, I would imagine, for you, Chris, but because it came when it was supposed to, like you got enough experience being a tattoo artist where you were comfortable with like fucking efficiently putting tattoos in skin and your designs. Now you can take on, now I've got employees. Now I've got people that I've got to teach and I've got to guide them this way. Now, if you were just given all that fucking, in the midst of 202, like, fuck, you couldn't have juggled that. So it came in time when it was supposed to come, So, yeah, I imagine, it's not easy, but it's not easy from the onlookers. Or some people may think it is. I've had friends tell me, like, I wish I had your fucking job. All you do is sit around and draw on people all day. And it's like, bro, you don't want this. I don't fucking have a day off, dude. You don't want this shit. But it does feel easy to me because I'm just in the stride of it. And I've built the momentum to have it to where it does feel like a break basically all the time. When I go to like today, I tattooed Megan today. I haven't tattooed in like 2 weeks because I've been doing a lot of painting and stuff, but like it was easy. Like it just came second. I'm talking while I'm setting up, like it's just second nature to me.
Right.
That's why I have a hard time talking about the shit.
Yeah, because
you just do it.
Yeah,
you just you've mastered it enough to where you can not think about every aspect, and you can just do. And now handling people, teaching outside of that, fucking tattooing and talking. I feel like I've gotten good at that. Having conversation while I'm talking. Sometimes it might take me a couple seconds to answer your question, just to generate the thought. But
if I'm pulling a line, though, I gotta that sniper.
Damn near faint.
Right.
You're like, I need the vape.
I do that. I fucking hold my breath because of running lines so much that this morning I was sending a text and was, and Megan was like, breathe. And I was like, so it's just habit from tattooing that I just hold my breath naturally now.
Yeah. Like, why do you keep passing out, man?
It's funny too because I woke up today and as soon as I scrolled to Instagram, I sat down and was drinking my coffee and I seen fucking this piece that Cotterman just did of like Night of the Living Dead 3 or something. And it was fucking decent size. It was like that, and I was just instantly hit me. I was like, God damn it! And I had his number, so I texted him. I was like, Hey, dude, you up? And he's like, Sure am. And I'm like, Can I ask you a stupid tattoo question? And he's like, Sure. And I was like, How long did it take you to do that? And he's like, 7 or 8 hours. Like, dude's that good, so I was able to finish through it. And I was like, Well, thank God, dude, because I was about to swallow razor blades, bro. I was like, if this motherfucker did this in like 3 or 5 hours, dude, like what the fuck am I doing? Now, granted, I'm not telling y'all that are listening to be a fast tattooer. Definitely be a good tattooer. Efficiency will come with patience of just focusing on the fundamentals and being good. But sometimes I see shit and I'm like, damn, dude, am I going too slow? Like, what am I missing? Am I and you know, you just came back with like, you know, just I'm efficient with my colors. When I see green, I put green. When I see red, I put green. I don't doubt it. I don't double think it. I just put it in. And I can trace that back to the first time I was at Evergreen and I was tattooing beside him. And he told me like, just focus on the value. Fuck the colors, focus on the value. So if I'm focusing on the value and I decide that this is the value, it doesn't matter what color it is, just fucking get it in there. And then looking back from when I learned that to now, it's like I am where I'm supposed to be. But I just appreciated it. And just the simple fact to say that, oh, I got dude's fucking number and can fucking call him when I see a world-renowned artist on Instagram that pisses me off because I'm like, fuck, that's so goddamn good.
Yeah, man. And it seems like Instagram is just flooded with fucking dope shit.
All the time, man. Like, it's bittersweet because it's like, should I just not follow tattoo artists and follow fucking other things? But at the same time, it's like, well, I want to see the fucking 4-minute mile get ran, so I know I can do it. Or maybe I get to be the guy that does the next. Sometimes I think that like if I just quit following tattoo artists and just stay focus on me, like what you've been doing, like just being in this little bubble, like maybe I'm going to be the dude that creates some fucking mind-blowing shit. Because right now I feel like I just bite off. I don't even see a style I have. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I think right now for me, that's like the biggest motivator is seeing those dope shit. Because you said something to me a few weeks back. It's like you can only be so good at applying it. But like the thing that gets better is the composition, the design. And for me, like this year, like I'm fucking striving to be doing the dopest shit I've ever done, like just putting more effort into the actual design process, doing vision meetings, spending more time in that area and doing bigger full, you know, creating full sleeves better, you know. But I think that process is what I need to learn and why Carlton's outtake are on things with the art and the passion he has for the creation that I need to really focus on, and like the preparation of the design, because I'll create a sleeve in Procreate, but are there other aspects that I could use that would help the design process of bigger stuff? Certain measurements, is there anything I can do with the client that'll set me up for success on the back end? Like how can I get more creative in the creation process versus just finding good images and finding a good way they lay together? Could I print this out and wrap it around a 3D model, or, you know, doing stuff, like print it out and actually do stuff on the table with my hands to help elevate that design? I don't know. I've been trying to really rack my brain in that area to see where that part can grow, because that's huge on my radar this year. And so far, I feel like I've done more originals this year than I ever have. But I don't know. That's just what I'm striving for this year, man. Just want to do dope shit.
I'm being.
Yeah.
God damn, y'all. That stinks.
Damn, Chris.
Bro, I'm about to do the outro like this, man.
You gotta make it quick. This is what's was going at the beginning of the fucking episode. Right here. Alrighty, y'all.
Yeah, man, it's been fucking awesome.
Yeah. I was, as soon as we started this whole
Trying
thing.
to talk and breathe in my mouth at the same time.
As soon as we started this podcast, I knew for sure that you'd be the first guest. I knew it was without a doubt. It was like, wasn't even a question about it. We knew we was gonna have you on the first one. So, man, just fucking love you, bro. Appreciate you. This shit stinks. I don't have it. Let me hit your fucking face, son.
I love it too, dude. And it's an honor to even be considered to be the first guest.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Wouldn't have done it any other way.
Yep. So,
yeah,
give me a little smell in there.
Yeah.
But so where can they find you? Make it snappy.
Clock's ticking.
You can find me on IG at at hip_81. Justin Shelpman on Facebook, or Hip on Facebook, my business page. And I'm on Threads too. Same link for IG. And maybe on here, maybe somewhere else. Maybe I'll do another podcast. Who knows? We'll see what the future holds.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And of course, you can always find all the links and shit down below in the description, so you'll be able to find all three of us. But I think I'm gonna, for once, skip on our socials.
Yeah.
Check out the links down below. You know where the shit is. But go check out the Patreon specifically, because we're still uploading content. Shit, none of y'all fucking seen some good shit.
Yes, sir.
So without further ado, appreciate you guys for watching another episode of More Than Tattoos, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, have a good night, y'all.
Later, guys.
Like all the energy just like dwindled at the end.